Ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy back at it again. Folks, welcome back to another edition of the Rico Report brought to you by Buffalo Fanatics. What's happening today? I hope my mic is on. If you guys can hear me, give me a okay. Now we good. Welcome back, folks. We're excited. Somewhat. We're excited because pads are back on. We're rocking. Contact is happening. But with the contact comes risk, and with the risk comes high-priced players going down. Now, question is, for how long? How severe are these injuries? Well, folks, I'm not going to let you wait. I'm not going to make you wait any longer. I've got someone that maybe has his ears to the streets potentially, or his eyes might tell him something that kind of can give us a little bit of insight to what we should be expecting with these injuries that are happening to a lot of these players. I mean, not only are high price players, but guys that are role players, right? That have a big role in playing in all of this. So, without further ado, folks, before we get into it, y'all know what time it is. We got an intro to get this thing started. Let's Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta be bopping all over the place. Let me see if I can ring a ding ding and get my guy going. Just give me the thumbs up when you're ready to roll, brother, and we'll get it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our guy.
Rico, you just call?
I certainly did, and I'm glad you picked up the phone because we've got a lot of questions to answer. Are you ready?
Yeah. Let me just check the volume. I'm ready to roll.
Oh my God. So first and foremost, let's get right to the nitty gritty. For those that are just tuned in right now, I want you guys to tune in and I want to welcome my guy, the Thigh Doc. If you guys aren't familiar with who the Thigh Doc is, get absolutely familiar because he's going to give you the goods of what he sees. He's not there physically with the players, but he's been in the game long enough to know these type of injuries and how long they can take to heal and what the severity of these injuries are. So let's get right into it. Player number one, Maxwell Hairston. How do we take this? Is this bad news? How bad is the news? How should Bills Mafia be taking this information?
Yeah, it looks bad, Rico. So we saw the video. John Scott got a real good video. Shout out John Scott for pulling that up. So Hairston apparently got tangled up in a rush drill. He got quote unquote tripped up, and they don't say if he took a fall or his knee buckled or it got twisted, but that was the drill. And then he was laying on the ground, towel over his head. Trainer comes in. Now the clip starts with the trainer doing a Lockman test. So that is a test for the ACL. It's very quick. It's at the start of the video. Then he bends his knee up and then he does a anterior drawer. He also tests posteriorly. So it's a PCL and an ACL test, depending on what direction he's pushing. To my eye, now it all depends on how much normal laxity the player has. Everyone's knees are different. Some people are loose, some people are tight. But it looked to shift quite a bit. So that means it would be on the loose end. So if that's the case, if my eyes aren't failing me here, this is potentially an ACL injury. If it's an ACL, you know the deal. He's out for the year. But we don't know. I didn't see the injury. I can't sit here today and say, oh, yeah, I saw that video, that clip of him testing his knee. That's undoubtedly an ACL. I can't because that could be his normal laxity. But what I can tell you is they were testing for it. He was walking real gingerly off the field. I can speculate what some other things that could have went on are. He could have had, if you'd like me to dwell into it, he could have hyperextended his knee. So when I think of a drill where he gets tripped up, he might have planted, buckled. And, in that case, if it's not an ACL, the closest thing to it could be a hyperextension injury with a bone bruise, a tibial plateau bone bruise. Those would take about a month. So best case scenario, you're looking at something like that. Worst case scenario, we're looking at an ACL with him there, Rico.
Listen, this is not the news we were looking for. We see him walk off gingerly. So what I've been hearing is typically if it's bad, there's no weight being able to be put on the knee, and secondly, usually a cart is being brought out so we can take the stress off the knee. Now, I know some players can be stubborn; they don't want to be shown on a cart.
Yeah.
You were looking at the flexibility of the knee, and just by looking at it, are you more on the optimistic side of saying, listen, man, it looks like it may be it's hard because we didn't see it, but
Yeah.
could it be that, man, hopefully it's a bone bruise, but in all likelihood, I feel just by your body language, it's not a good sign.
Yeah, I can walk you through it. So just keeping the clip running. So
Yep.
someone who walks off that does provide some hope. They also let him step down the curb to get to the tent, which is right a little before that, which is also positive. Okay, like some guy's got an ACL, you're just going to let him like step down. It's like a multi-million-dollar man. However, you're right. Player pride. He might have said no cart. Let's walk.
Yep.
Also, I mean, people. So this is a non-contact ACL, which means it's isolated. In regards to that, people tear their ACLs and walk around. They don't sometimes, they don't go right for surgery. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that someone tears their ACL and they walk off the field. I mean, people have finished games with this injury, so that doesn't hold a ton of weight, but it does provide some optimism. There are also other potential knee injuries. Again, we didn't see the injury. What if What if it was he tripped up, but that wasn't really the injury. The injury was his knee slammed into the turf, similar to Dalton Kincaid.
Oh,
and that would explain why the trainer did the PCL and then the ACL with the drawer test. Could this be a PCL sprain? It absolutely could. I didn't see the injury. I'm just telling you, when he pulled his shin forward, he pulled it pretty damn far, and that would be a positive ACL. So,
man.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, let's hope for the best. I mean, there can be a meniscus issue, but if you hold my feet to the fire and you told me to guess, I mean, that's what I would say. Educated guess.
It's a tough one, and I'm gonna sit here because I know some folks were like, and we do this every year, so this is not news or any of that nature. But anytime that injury does happen, we go to our trusted guy, the thigh doc, and for the most part, he's been pretty accurate with some of the injuries. And I know some folks don't want to hear it, but that's just the reality. He's letting you guys know what he sees, and I'm getting a lot of people, trying to throw you flack. What does he know? And this, down the third. He didn't just get his ability to assess these things off the back of a cereal box, folks. This is what he does for a living. So I gotta show my guy some love because he's been on point. Now, how worried does it make you? Now you've got a potential ACL injury, and I hate to say it out loud, but it's what it is.
Yeah.
And now you have a player returning to form, and Tre White. He's been sounding good, looking good during camp, but he's had 2 major lower leg injuries. Does that stand, like, does that make you feel warm and fuzzy inside, knowing that all-pro type player in Benford and a former all-pro player, but that may not be himself, but he's been looking all right this training camp? How's that all play out in your mind looking at this situation?
Yeah, so if you want to look at it a glass half full, I'd say, oh, look at this. Last year in the stadium, Tre White comes back for one more year. He's like the DNA of this whole thing they've got going on since McDermott been here. The first round pick gets hurt. Now it's his time to shine. And he takes that fateful run to the Super Bowl for us. I mean, that's a glass half full. Glass half empty is he's washed because he's coming off an ACL and an Achilles. Even though he looks better, he still gets burnt out there. But, he's a steady hand. He's a vet. He can play the zone defense well because he knows where to be. But it really takes away the game-changing ability without having Max Hairston there, who's got good ball skills and elite speed. So
it certainly does. So I don't want to stick too much on Hairston, but he's the main player in all of this. I mean, youth is on his side. Had he been age 31 and this happens, you're like, I'm a little worried about what's going down. But in the young age of what, 22 years of age, 20, is he 24?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how old he was.
I don't know. I think he's young. I think he's 21. But I don't know. Someone do a check on that.
What?
But he did
from that.
So the
Go
him bouncing back quickly
yeah,
is obviously on the bright side, but you just hate to see it happen this early. The one thing that we needed in this defensive backfield was someone with speed, instincts, all of the things that we were so excited to have, and now it's hanging in the balance. We're all waiting with bated breath to find out what takes place. Typically, if it was, I mean, in your assessment, let me know. We've had guys injured before, and we knew if it was negative, it's just a bone bruise, but we haven't heard a word yet. Is this one of those situations where we're looking for second and third opinions?
So potentially, if it was an ACL, this would be isolated because it's a non-contact, most likely.
Right.
Sometimes people really blow it out, but likely, you gotta factor in. He walked off the field. He didn't look like he was in that much pain. If he had a teared ACL, probably be isolated. Those heal fast. He is young. It's so funny you said that he's got youth on his side. My cousin said the same. I was talking to him before I got on here. Said the exact same words. Yep. And he's right. Like, these guys will bounce back. If there's less extra injuries to the knee, meniscus, MCL, fractures, they do really good. Those are the guys that are going to come back in 9 months. So with that said, what was the question again? Like, how do I see this defense looking?
When it takes this long? Is it because
yes.
In order to get some of the answers, second or third opinion, or they're just still not sure, waiting for swelling to come down? What's taking so long?
Okay, you definitely can have issues with swelling on the MRI, but you also can be running into an issue with potentially a partial tear here. So are they like, how torn is it? Does this need to get fixed? Can we get a second opinion on it? I don't know. That could be going on too. That's very possible. Or are we missing the boat here? It's a meniscus, and they're like, do we trim it or do we repair it? Because if it's a repair, you're missing multiple months. If you trim it, he's back in 4 weeks. So that's also a big one. But again, you trim it, you're taking the cushion out. You're going to get your longevity goes down. Repair is better to do, but it's a longer road to recovery.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. I do not like. Listen, why can't we have nice things? That's what it feels like. Can't have nice things, man. We go in early into the season. Last year, we get banged up with some big time players. We're in training camp, guys. Everybody shows up healthy, and then it just feels like a plethora of injuries have taken place. Maxwell Hairston obviously taking obviously precedent right here because he's our first round draft pick. Let me move on to a couple other players that are standing here. You got Spencer Brown still dealing with these back issues. I thought at one point he was over the back issues. It seems like it's flared up again. What can we talk about these back issues that keep flaring up for our big right tackle that's been such a big huge piece for this offensive line?
Yeah, big tall guy. He had a back injury. He had a microdiscectomy, so they had to take some of the herniated disc out of his back out. I mean, once you take some of that disc out, it's shrinking now. So does it re-herniate and put more pressure on the nerve from a new herniation or bulge, or is he going through arthritic changes? I don't know. He was fine until he wasn't. Rumor has it he had golfed right before camp. So hate to tell you, but probably threw his back out golfing. Probably didn't want to hear that. But they'll probably get him to a spot where he's healthy. I mean, if he hasn't gone under the knife yet, I think they're just taking their time with it. But is this something that can be recurring? Absolutely. So you're kind of like moving with caution here. Like, once he's back, it's like, okay, is he back, or is this just gonna week 4, he's gonna throw his back out again? It definitely takes the longevity out of his career for a recurring back injury. But he just signed that extension. I know the details of the extension were kind of you get through the first year, and then it's like year to year, you can kind of cut bait pretty quick. And that sounds pretty smart, especially with his background of surgeries coming out of college. He's got a lengthy history of knee injuries. So throw that in with the back injury, and he has had a shoulder injury as well. He had shoulder surgery, but I'm not as worried about the shoulder.
I don't know, man.
Not great.
It isn't. I was going into training camp being so excited. O-line intact. We've got our guy Josh Allen coming off of a fresh MVP. He's now rated 99 in Madden. Like, we looking great, and then these little nagging little injuries start taking place. Let's go to the offensive side of the ball. Curtis Samuel,
hamstring.
This
2 weeks.
brother just can't. He just
can't stay healthy.
He can't stay healthy. and we still owe this guy about $7-8 million. Like, I'm to the point where, like, fam, if you can't stay healthy enough to prove what can be done with Josh Allen consistently, we got to make something happen here, man. I mean, let's call this a failed project. I don't want it to be, but your thoughts on these little nagging soft tissue injuries that happen to fast twitch receivers that we actually need on this offense to make this thing move? Curtis Samuel,
Bernard.
talk to me.
Bernard is a hammy too.
Bernard,
Recurring.
hammy.
Listen, the best predictor of injury is re-injury. So if these guys have had these soft tissue injuries in these areas before, they're more likely to twinge it again there. I've had multiple hammies. I mean, once you've had your first one, I'd say they're easier to happen. With that said, it is camp. They are veterans. They're going to aid on the side of precaution. The injuries that we're seeing with soft tissue, I'm not, besides Hairston, which looks like a huge red flag, no one's like popping out. They're pulling up at practice, and then you're hearing all these reports. Oh my goodness, like Keon Coleman was sprinting and he pulled up, he's grabbing his calf, and he had to go into the tent, and you never saw him again. We're not hearing that. It's like kind of like these guys get through practice, and then the next day they're on the injury report with like a hamstring. I'd say that's a good sign that it's very minor. And then when you're in camp, you have the luxury of healing it completely. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is, a lot of these injuries are probably like 1 weekers in season, but they're probably going to drag them out for 2, maybe 3, depending on the player, especially as you're in camp. But, you're missing reps, but it's also improving reps for younger guys who normally wouldn't get that much reps. So the Hairston thing, just circling back to it, we heard some reports that the other corner we drafted, Dorian Strong, I believe his name is, that he's having a strong camp.
Absolutely.
So now you're like, okay, if Hairston really is down, yes, you have a really cool story. Tre White's back in there. But you know who the real winner is, because Tre's on a 1-year deal, is Dorian Strong. He's going to get a big shot, which he wouldn't have gotten if Hairston's in there. So what if you get like another Benford? They kind of like late pick, strong guy, heady player, not that fast, but does really well in the defense. So that'd be a nice bittersweet story there. So that'd be cool.
So I have a question that comes up here by Teddy Envy, and it's something that I do want to talk about as well. Turf grass, right? And you see these injuries that are happening and taking place, and you hear players talk about every year, we'd rather play on grass, get rid of this turf, or some folks don't mind the turf, et cetera, et cetera. You find that this plays a factor in these injuries that are happening to players. I mean, non-contact with Hairston. I mean, Emerson, corner from the Browns, torn Achilles today. This grass versus turf, any merit to that?
Yeah, I think there's definitely enough anecdotal evidence. It just hasn't been completely proven. But usually, the story is it's a stickier surface, so you can get stuck there when you're running. So when you plant and stuff, your cleat gets stuck, and then your joints go, not your foot, instead of your foot sliding like it does on grass. Dirty little secret, they're practicing on a grass field at St. John Fisher, though. They don't practice on their game field. There's a grass field on the other side. So these are all grass injuries, just so you guys know. So it's not a slam dunk. Turf's the bad guy.
No, I've always asked that question, because I mean, when I played, and I don't know about you, when I played, I actually enjoyed playing on the turf. There was something about turf that I loved, but I mean, it
felt faster.
What's that?
You definitely feel faster.
You feel faster, a little more springier. You're ready to go, right? So
I agree.
Speaking of springy and ready to go, we had what it looked like Mr. Kincaid ready to go. Then he went down. Then he's back ready to go again. Let's talk about a little bit of Kincaid. And this is a year that a lot of people have been paying attention to Dalton Kincaid, more specifically on, can he stay healthy? Will he stay healthy? And will he be a big part in helping this offense continue to move the momentum and continue to have a high-scoring offense? But he's going to be playing a big part in this. And the biggest thing was, can he be conditioned enough, strong enough to sustain a whole regular season? And then he's banged up, comes back again. Talk to me about this Kincaid individual.
Yeah, he was back today, correct?
He was back.
Yeah, he missed it with all the Hairston drama. So, listen, he had a PCL. He missed a handful of games last year. He also had another like a skin lesion injury that came out. Just like it was like
Little
a
scratch.
yeah, whatever. That's not bothering him now. This is the PCL knee.
Yep.
So what do you take from that? So does he have some chronic issue in his knee? Probably, potentially. I mean, he was in OTAs rocking double knee braces. So I think it's still bugging him. Basically, when you get a ligament sprain in your knee, the PCL doesn't need to get fixed, even if it's a grade 2, but it might give your knee some laxity, so some shiftiness to it, which can kind of chew, let me keep the answer simple. It can kind of chew you up on the inside a little bit, cause some inflammation. So I don't think this is like a red flag, like, oh my God, this guy's going to go on the IR over it. But it might be something where he needs to get some management, rep management to keep the knee healthy. Maybe after a game, he doesn't get back to the practice field till Thursday, or we see it later in camp. He gets a vet rest day, or they say, knee soreness, and he misses another practice. I don't know, but you'd think he'd be fully healthy. He's young. Another guy has youth on his side, and it's still bugging him a year later, which is a little concerning. Actually, medium concerning. So
I'll
not
keep
great.
it real. It's concerning. At least for me,
Yeah.
I see it's concerning when I see like the guy that I need him to take a big time leap is you know what I mean, banged up a little bit here and banged up a little bit there. It's like, come on, man. Like I need you to fight through. But I mean, I know he knows that it's an important year for him to really be available. So you can sit here like, I need him to. I'm sure he feels the same pressure that we might be putting onto him. So that's a whole nother thing that athletes got to deal with. But like, you're a first round pick for a reason. You need to be there and you need to be available, right? And that's what we're looking forward to seeing. So Kincaid being one of them that's kind of that's limping into this. And then Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore came in blazing, looking great, and now he's got these leg soreness. So what's with this leg soreness? What does that mean when someone tell me leg soreness? What is that? A quad? You got bruised up? What do you got? Cramps? Like what is leg soreness to you?
I don't really know, Rico. I thought that was going to be like a day thing. Isn't he stretching it out a little bit now? It's been a couple days.
Listen, man, we're day 6 into training camp.
I don't know.
We still got some time under the belt for training camp, and then we got preseason. So whether and I know sometimes some guys, I mean, it makes no sense, truthfully, because we're trying to get better. Some guys may stretch these things a little longer so they don't have to really get involved in it. I'm not at all accusing anybody, but it's just there's a litany of players that are on the sideline. Mike Edwards, KJ Hamler, Larry Gajobi was a rest day. Alec Anderson has a knee. Dwayne Carter had an illness today. Spencer Brown, Cedric Van Pran, Tyrell Shavers dealing with the ankle situation. Curtis Samuel, Elijah Moore, Caden Prather, the rookie, dealing with hamstring. The amount of hamstring. Are we not hydrated enough? Are we not drinking enough? What's the deal with these hamstrings? What's with the hammies?
Yeah. Okay. So you go from training in the off season. I was just saying this the other day. These guys aren't under training. You get to camp. You have to acclimate to football. There's change of direction. You're reacting to stuff, but you're gonna pull, tweak, get sore. It's just the name of the game. It happens every year. We always freak out, but
right.
it always ends the same. Then you get to week 1. Oh, hey, the injury report's pretty damn clean this week. So that's what I think's going on. Again, nothing I've seen is like, besides Hairston. And then I guess we can I got a couple things I want to touch here, Rico. So besides all the soreness, little hamstrings and stuff like that, I don't see this lingering into the regular season. The ones, I just want to draw your attention to the ones that scare me. Spencer Brown's back.
Yep.
Obviously, Max Hairston's knee. Dalton Kincaid.
Absolutely.
Again, I don't think he's going to miss time, but I think it's going to become a thing. He's got a wonky knee. And the other one that no one's really talking about today because it's been overshadowed, Tyler Bass missed another practice, right?
He did. He absolutely did. K-Bass.
With pelvic pain?
Yes. Tell me more. What pelvic pain? Is he in the bedroom too much putting in work? Is his lady say, hey, I'm ovulating. We got business to get in there? Or did he get banged up somewhere? Was he on the golf course and he fell off a golf cart and pelvic pain? You're the doc. Talk to me about this, man.
Yeah, so he had a bad practice on Sunday. I think it was the rainy day. He went like 4 for 8, and then he's been out with pelvic pain ever since. I mean, if you want to be a glass half full guy and say, oh, maybe Maybe he's got like some internal thing that's passing, like a kidney stone or something like that. Or, his wife gave him like testicular torsion. Maybe, but I'm less optimistic. And there is a condition called osteitis pubic where you have inflammation in the bone where your two pelvic bones meet. I think that should be on the table, and possibly a sports hernia. It's just odd to me, Rico. For all the years I've been tracking this, I've been a Bills fan my whole life, but I've only been the past couple of years like really studying the injury report and trying to like give this information out to you all. But I've never seen pelvic pain. I've seen groin, hip, core, not pelvic pain. That's really specific. So when you hear that and you think of a specific sports injury that's in the pelvis, they're usually not fast healing injuries. Now, I don't think they brought in a ton of competition here. Like, I'd say, hey, sound the alarm if they brought in two kickers to get a tryout today, but they didn't. So potentially it's just soreness or something that we don't know, like internal medicine that is a little over our head that's going to be fine. But I think that's a major red flag, especially for a kicker. If I have a chronic / pretty severe issue in my pelvic region and I'm responsible for kicking the football in clutch situations, a little pain here and I might slice it to the right or might hook it or take a little off, don't have the power. I mean, it's a really delicate position to be messing around with pain in that area. So hopefully it's nothing, which it definitely could be, but that one definitely is concerning to me, especially when it's, a key position on special teams. That's my spiel on Bass is nuts. Did you go silent, Rico? Can't hear you. Sounds off. No, can't hear you. You can hear me? You can hear me. I just can't hear you. Oh, keep talking. Oh, I got to lead the show. I got to talk for 2 minutes. Oh, yeah. All right, let's get some questions from the crowd. What do we got? Keep talking. Keep on talking is what he said. Rico can't hear you. Let's get a question from the group chat. Come on, throw something in there. Didoc, he wants you to talk. I'm talking. Wow. I feel real special right now. This is my first time streaming solo. I think I know what I should do. I know exactly what I should do. Alexa, play Turn Down for What?
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you. You should just let me do what I was about to do.
I don't know what's going on here. Hold on a second.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, you're about to try to do some stupid stuff. If the chat can hear me, just give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me right now.
Alexa off.
I came in the nick of time.
Oh, you just thigh blocked the whole stream.
I thigh blocked you. Thigh blocker. Okay. The one thing I do want to ask about you, about the pelvic to thigh bone. In the body, it's from what I understand, it's one of the strongest bones in the body, if not the strongest around that area. Obviously, you have the femur is a pretty strong bone, but not hip / in the pelvic areas. It's a strong one. Having soreness in that area, now that I'm hearing and reading a little more about that, very concerning.
Yeah,
very concerning, to the point where if I'm being, bro, I'm at my last straw, bro. We thought we got over the hump of the psychological, issues, and now we're dealing with this, and that's a pretty serious thing. I don't know if they're not saying much about it now. Maybe I'm overreacting, but bro, I'm bringing another kicker in again to find out if, like, is this the real deal or not, or are we just taking precaution here, bro? I'm concerned about this, and should we not be concerned with this hip soreness that they're not
pelvic?
Pelvic, but it's all in the same range.
Yeah,
area.
but they've never called a hip I've never seen a pelvic before from this team in 6 years. So
super weird,
very weird. Yeah, we'll see. They start bringing in kickers for tryouts. Get your popcorn ready for special teams. But he might just pop back tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we'll go from there. So that's what I wanted to touch on. That is, am I missing anything that we should be touching on? K-Bass obviously is one of the big ones. Kincaid, obviously Max Hairston taking the cake on how serious this injury is. Just to touch back on this Hairston situation, there's a reason why my man decided, Brandon Beane, and I'm talking about Brandon Beane, said, you know what? I've seen how this plays out. I've seen my team lose guys at key positions. I'm loading up. Can anybody get mad at Brandon Beane for loading up on defense when you see things like this happen? Dorian Williams, having to deal with some lower body injuries. He's out for a little bit.
Oh yeah, calf, couple weeks.
Right. So he's out for a little bit. So now you can see why we went defense all the way. Like, my gosh. Now, on the bright side, Joey Bosa hasn't hit the injury list. He did
his in training camp.
Yeah, and he got that out of the way, and he's been looking good. So I'm encouraged by that, because I don't want this to be an all doom and gloom, but it's just the facts. These are the breaks, and we're seeing a lot of these guys get banged up. I'm not sure what it is. Like, you train all off season hard as ever, and then once training camp starts, where they give you a lot more, I feel like a lot more rest. And this is where we start getting the banged up and the injuries and so on and so forth. So it's tough as a fan, because you go into this season so excited, with so much excitement for these players. And then one of the biggest additions to this team was Maxwell Hairston. And now we're having to wait with bated breath to find out how serious is his injury. I'm chalking it up as this is an ACL. They're just being very careful and taking second and third opinions, but I'm chalking up as ACL. So it looks like it's going to be the Tre White Benford show. How about that? Did you have that, ladies and gentlemen, on your bingo card? Tre White having an opportunity, like you said earlier, to almost redeem himself, come back full circle, never wanted to leave in the first place. And had he still been healthy, I think would have still remained on this Bills team and kept up with his play. But that's what it looks like. We got no choice but to deal with what our cards are dealing us right now. Tre White, Christian Benford, and obviously Taron Johnson as the nickel. And now we have to find out who's going to play the Kyer Elam role if Hairston is out. Dorian Strong, Jordan Hancock. Could it be someone that comes out of nowhere? We'll soon see.
Yeah. All right. Kids are getting a little restless over here.
That's all. I knew my time. My time was up. Let the little man know I say good night. And we'll
Rico says good night.
And we'll catch back up on the thigh line another time, brother.
He just shook his leg at you. All right.
Oh, there you go.
Always a pleasure. Go Bills.
Always a pleasure, my guy.
See you, Rico. Bye.
Yes, sir. That is my guy, the Thigh Doc. You guys already know what it is. I know some of you guys want to give him a hard time out there. Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He does. Listen, he's informative. He's giving you what's the worst case scenario and what's the best case scenario. Some of y'all don't want to hear the worst case scenario. I'm the type of person that wants to hear worst case scenario. What am I dealing with here? Okay, that's the worst case. We ain't gonna have him for the year. At least we'll see him next year. Not ideal at all, because you want him to form that formidable duo between him and our guy Benford. And you can see it. Forget about what you saw on screen today. Forget about what you saw. It's what you heard from the players. Dane Jackson, bro, it was just a freak trip up. And he just went down. Freak trip up. Although we didn't see it, bro, that don't sound good. Oh, man, we were sitting here, sending prayers to my dog. We were sending prayers to my dog. Bro, it's not looking good. Christian Benford's like, yo, I'm sick. Yo, what's the word he used? He used a word that I'm pretty much, I'm pissed off. I'm angry that this took place because this guy was having a strong camp, young kid, ready to get after it. He was tackling, he was getting into it, he was gritty, he was all over the field. And now you could be without your promising, young, quick, fast, instinctive, bright corner. And now you're back going back into the well and saying, all right, and not to poo-poo on Tre White. I don't want to poo-poo on Tre White. But you know, when you have your heart set on something, when you have your mind is set on seeing 31 and 47 side by side, and now you're like, okay, we got 27. All right. Now, on the bright side, he's been having a solid camp thus far. On the bright side, Tre White, I'm referring to, has been it's been a breath of fresh air with him returning to the Bills. On the bright side, when he was he was limited, but when he was on the Ravens, and I have a buddy of mine that is a Ravens content creator in Ravens. He goes, at first we weren't sure about Tre White, but near the end of the season, we started to like what we saw out of Tre White, and we wanted him back. We were actually very surprised that he left. We anticipated Tre White returning to the Ravens, but the fact that Tre White is returned to the Bills, could it be another reason to write a beautiful story, right? Last season at this Bills stadium, we're going into a brand new season the following year. Tre White returns to the Bills. He's feeling better than ever. Could he come back and be the comeback player of the year? Does he still have it? But too many injuries, bro. Achilles, ACL. That's a lot to deal with. And now Christian Benford's been having a phenomenal camp thus far. And we already know he sometimes can deal with being banged up here and there. We went from being super strong. I was just talking to Bot about this last week. I was super confident in what this defensive backfield was going to look like. Now I'm like, okay, we're down a player. All right, bet. But then now we're relying on someone that's been down twice already. And let's not forget, and let's not all of a sudden just forget that Christian Benford deals with his own type of injuries. So easily we could be down 3. And I do not want to hear someone mention to me Rasul Douglas. I ain't trying to hear no Rasul Douglas back on this squad. I'm just not. Asante Samuels is still out there. Why we haven't even, if in fact Hairston does end up being put on the injured reserve because he's torn his ACL, why are we not on the phone with Asante Samuel? Why are we not on the phone with Asante Samuel saying, hey, how you feeling? How's that shoulder? Is that shoulder? Are we good? Are we ready to go? Still young. I think he was 26 years of age. Have him compete, or at least we know that if something does take place, we have someone that has had success at that position. But fam, it's discouraging, bro. I remember being so discouraged when we noticed Matt Milano went down. I was discouraged. I was like, oh, come on, man. Matt Milano down? Oh, here we go. This is almost how I feel about this Maxwell Hairston situation. the amount of times that I read Max was beat, but because of his agility, his side-to-side lateral quickness, and his pure speed, he was able to come back into the frame and either bat the ball down, take it away, or be there. Be in position. Speed is of utmost importance. And we just lost that. Let's just keep it real. We lost that. We lost that with this freaking injury, because let's just say it's not an ACL, but it's something serious enough. Now it's going to take time to build back up again. Oh man, and I get it. You're right though. Let the diagnosis come out before you panic. But it doesn't look good. Let's keep it a buck. It doesn't look good. Normally, information usually comes out much sooner to tell us, oh, by the way, X-rays came out. It's negative. We've seen that before. Tyrell Shavers gets carted off the very same day. Oh, it turns out it was just a low ankle sprain. Quick. Right to it. We thought he broke that thing. Could he have broken it? No, they came out right the same day. Within 12 hours, I believe 12 hours, they already knew what was taking place. Fam, we've out all day and nobody's saying a peep. I don't like how long this is going. Now, am I hoping for something great? It comes back and they say, you know what? MRI is cool. We good. Absolutely, I'm waiting for that. I'm not optimistic. So now my mind has already moved on to Tre White and Christian Bedford. Am I mad at it? No. Because that's just the breaks. That's what it is. And sometimes redemption stories are made for these things, right? HBO, golly, the HBO right now was what's going on with the Hard Knocks. Fam, this is great for Hard Knocks. Rookie corner goes down. Veteran guy leads and comes back and rallies the crew and says, you know what, guys, I've been here before. I know what this brother's going through. It's going to be this, that, and the third, but we could rally. We could get things cracking. How good is that for TV for Hard Knocks? Oh, but I don't like it. I'll be real. I don't like having the young rookie have to deal with this. It's tough. You get drafted. You're excited to show, and then boom, this happens. Tough break, man. Doesn't it feel like we deal with this type of stuff every year? It's always a player that you're like, what? Come on, really? I mean, look, Amari Cooper. We get so excited for Amari Cooper to come here. Amari Cooper comes through, boom, he gets banged up, and he hasn't recovered. He's still a free agent to the day, right? We were excited for Amari Cooper. First game, gets a touchdown, doesn't even know the playbook. We're like, oh no, this guy's gonna light it up. Never came to, right? We finally start to see some good things happen with Keon Coleman. Boop, broken wrist, sit down. And I know injuries happen. That's just part of the game. But golly, if we're trying to make our way to the Super Bowl, we need every damn player we got to contribute. But if you got it, you got it like that. The Kansas City Chiefs, they were banged up. Rashee Rice, you out of here. And they still went 15-1. They still went to the Super Bowl. They got shellacked, but they still made it to the Super Bowl, and they beat our asses without Rashee Rice. So this is where you got to step your game up. They got to step the game up. And in this case, this is where we are where we are. We got to do what we got to do. Now, I don't want to doom and gloom. We got to talk about what took place today and what was great. And I'm not going to talk too much today on camp, because tomorrow I'm going to be joined by my good buddy Carl Jones, and we're going to really dissect camp, who's been standing out, who has not. But I'll share some little things that I felt was great. I didn't anticipate for this to be a big show. This is more about talking about injuries and talk about all the things that has taken place in camp thus far. So day 6, we had some good things happen. Obviously, the injury to Max Hairston was what took the cake today. But returning to practice was Kincaid. That's a big, although I was not too pleased with having the injury put on him, but the fact that he was able to come back and it wasn't that big a deal, I'm okay with it. I'm glad that he was able to come back. Elijah Moore returned to practice as well. So I want to see us light the skies up and see what's taking place with these guys. I want to see what this offense can look like. I'm concerned about our right tackle, obviously in Spencer Brown, but I'm looking forward to seeing Tylen Grable. Maybe Tylen Grable comes out and looks pretty damn good at right tackle. You know what I mean? We have some tackles in there. Alec Anderson's banged up, but we have some things. We have some guys that can move around. Tyler Lund, is getting into some scraps, and he's getting grimy. He's in there. So we got some depth on this squad that I like to see, but I want to see my starters in, bro. I want to see my starters in, and that's what it comes down to. So Elijah Moore, I'm just reading my notes right now. Elijah Moore and Kincaid coming back is a big sign. Obviously, Milano. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you do with a Milano? Okay. Milano seems to be back to his old self, making plays clearly on top of his game this offseason. He's breaking passes up. He's scoring interceptions where he needs to be. He's smacking dudes up in practice. He's looking the part, but he's also in his last year of his deal. What if he goes out and has an all-pro year, Pro Bowl year, all-pro year, looks really good? Do you exercise on something on bringing him back? Or are you really, truly done with Matt Milano and say, hey, man, we're going to call it a day, bro? Like, it's been great. It's been real. I got Dorian Williams that's around the bend. He's coming around the corner. It's going to be him. We're looking to the future. It's going to be him, obviously, in our middle linebacker, Bernard. That's what it's going to be. It's been great. It's been real. But, man, if he looks too good, he looks the part all year round, you've got to sit there and have a conversation and say, all right, maybe we can work out a multi-year deal like they gave, to our former running back in Jackson, or Freddie Jackson. Freddie Jackson was getting long in the tooth, but we're like, you know what? Because we love you and you're a guy, we're going to give you a multi-year deal, you know what I'm saying, just to show you love and respect. We might have to do the same thing for Milano if he has a great year. So right now, Milano and Bernard holding it down at the linebacker spot, I'm loving it. But now Bernard being banged up with a hamstring, you got a calf injury to Dorian Williams. It's not ideal, but I love what I'm seeing from our guy, Matt Milano. So he's looking great, looking very good. Obviously, Josh Allen. Let's get to our guy, Josh. Josh is Josh. Josh is going to be Josh. Josh is looking mobile, and he's learning. It's not even a learning issue. He's accepting, and that's a key word here. He's accepting that I can't control who's here and who's not. You know what I can control? What I do with this cannon. You know what I can control? How I'm going to bomb this to my guy. I got to write his name down. Stephen Gosnell. Who? Stephen Gosnell caught a huge bomb from my guy, Josh Allen. So pretty much, I said this 2 years ago. 3 years ago. I said 3 years ago. I said, Josh is going to become the guy. He's not, at the time I was saying this, he isn't him yet, but I could totally see him becoming a Tom Brady-like quarterback. And what I meant by that is it won't matter who you give me. I can assess. I can read the defense. I know what I'm doing. I am anticipating what's going to take place. Just get to where you need to be and I'll deliver. And that's exactly what type of quarterback Tom Brady was. He didn't play with massive stars all over the place. Obviously, Gronkowski was a big-time player, and he had that year with Randy Moss where he killed it. But for the most part, he had some good receivers. No elite receivers around him, but he could just make it. He could get stuff done. And I was watching a clip from Tom Brady, and he was like, guys, I was never the fastest. I was never this, that, the third. He said all of that. But he's like, you know what I was good at? What would be just as good as being a guy that was mobile and could run? He said, I needed 2 weeks. And I don't know if you guys have seen this clip, but he was talking about it. He had 2 weeks to prep for Kansas City Chiefs, I believe, in that Super Bowl. And I needed 2 weeks. And 2 weeks, I studied that film. And then when I got up to the line of scrimmage, I looked up. I didn't really lead to scan. I just knew they're blitzing. Perfect. I know exactly what I need to do. They're in coverage. They're playing cover 2 here. And that's just pre-snap read. It's to the point where Josh Allen is pre-snap read, know what the heck this defense is doing. He's that smart that he's pretty much telling you, I don't care who you give me. I'm going to let this guys up. And I'm anticipating a massive year for my guy, Josh Allen, again. But I say this because Stephen Gosnell, bro, just get the job done. And low-key, Jalen Virgil, If he gets time on the field and it displays his speed and can get, we might see a lot more from Jalen Virgil. I know we haven't seen too much yet. OTAs, you heard a lot about him. Mini camp, you heard some things. Haven't heard too much in training camp. But training camp's a little different. But it goes to show you how great Josh Allen is. I love seeing it. Keon Coleman. Let me get to my man Keon. A few days ago, people are bagging on my guy Keon. Like, yo, man's just dropping footballs. Man's just doing this. Man's just doing that. Man's has had 2 back-to-back solid practices, and it didn't stop today. Yo, Keon might be, you know what I mean, ready for a breakout season. You know what I'm saying? Let him get comfortable. Let him understand what his true role is alongside the things that he's learned along the way in the offseason on gaining separation. And once he gets into the nick of things, into the depth of the season, and he starts to understand his body, starts to understand how longevity matters in this game, he could be something to pay attention to. He could be that player that breaks out. We know that we're going to have success, at least for me. Josh Palmer and Josh Allen, I feel they're going to have success no matter what. Khalil Shakir, he's going to do what Khalil does. He ain't going to break out and be that, and I could be wrong, and if I am, I'll be wrong. He doesn't give me the anticipation that he's going to break out for 1,500-yard season with you know what I mean, with 12 touchdowns. Doesn't give me that impression. But he's going to be where he needs to be and make crucial catches. But yo, Palmer and Keon might be the guy you got to pay attention to. Be like, yo, he's going to be a problem in this league. It's not all about the speed. Let me tell you something. D-Hop is not the fastest guy. But for the DeAndre Hopkins, great route runner, and he's got great body control and knows exactly where to read. Listen, Devontae Adams, not fleet of foot. He ain't fast, solid route runner. They just know what they're doing. So if Keon can understand where he excels and where he does things well, bro, he's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem. And add the fact that he's been working on his route running abilities, and now he's gaining that connection with Josh Allen. Yo, breakout season could be had. Breakout season could be had. I'm looking forward to seeing what Keon Coleman does the rest of this training camp and what he does in the limited action he could get in preseason games. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how that plays out. Tre White. Let's get into my guy, Tre White. Obviously, Max going down. I know that's the biggest thing. My man said, yo, Brock said, yo, don't jinx Josh like that, man. God forbid he goes down. We straight dumpster fire. Bro, Josh goes down. We're done. And Mitch Trubisky ain't going to bring us out of nowhere. Mike White ain't going to bring us out of nowhere. I'm sorry. It ain't going to happen. The AFC is way too damn tough. But let's keep it rolling, right? Loving what I'm seeing and reading from Tre'Davious White. Some might say that when they brought him back to Buffalo, that he was there merely as a piece to rally the young guys and be the veteran guy in the game. I remember Z-Bot and I were talking, and this was a month. This is when we brought him back. I was absolutely against bringing him back. I thought, what's the point? Yo, just go and get young guys and so on and so forth. And now that I see that he's excelling, and I see that I'm reading that he's doing well, then I'm starting to begin to think, and this is before this whole Maxwell injury, he didn't come in, and this was the topic of conversation. They didn't bring Tre'Davious White to be the mentor. They didn't bring him back to be, you know what I mean, we're making you the third corner. Just understand what you're coming back to Buffalo for. You need to understand that. I truly didn't believe that. And although I didn't want to see him come back because I just felt like, listen, that ship has sailed. But the fact that they did bring him back, they didn't bring him back just to be a guy, right? Just a guy, just a jag. They didn't bring him back. They brought him back to really compete. If you guys remember the show that I had with Z-Bot, I was like, I don't think they brought him back just to kind of la-di-da. He's going to compete. He didn't come here to play second fiddle and be cornerback 3 in Kyle Elam's role. I'm going to compete and try to get this role, and this is before the draft, I know they're going to draft a young guy, but I'm going to compete. They're going to have to beat me out of my spot or out of this cornerback 2 spot. Well, guess what? Tre White may have just default / earned his way to get into that, because when it came to playing time and what was going on, Tre was getting, I don't want to say majority, but he was getting a lot more looks at first team corner than Max Hairston was. Max Hairston did come in and spell him off a couple times, but Tre White was the one that was, getting the nod of being the number one corner. So this now may solidify my guy in there. So this is crucial, so crucial, because not only does the cornerback 2 spot become a position where you're like, okay, this is going to be interesting, but now who takes over that corner 3 spot? Dane Jackson has now more reason to be alive now. This guy's candle is ready to be blown out. Sit your ass down. But that candle is now still lit. And it's like they cut off the old wick and twisted on a new wick. And that light is bright, is shining bright for my guy, Dane Jackson. Because now he's like, okay, I have an opportunity to make this roster. If, in fact, Hairston is out. If, in fact, Hairston is out. So, Dane Jackson has an opportunity. Dorian Strong has a grand opportunity to come in and make some things happen. This is going to be interesting going forward. We're going to find out. We're going to find out how this all shakes out at the end of the day. But there's a black guy over the defensive backfield with Trey going down. Excuse me, not Trey. Max Hairston going down. But we rise up with Tre White. So it's not a bad thing whatsoever. So a few things that took place. Shaq Thompson, the veteran Shaq Thompson, I think that was an underrated addition to the team. Shaq Thompson was an underrated addition. If healthy, one of the better linebackers in the league. If healthy, one of the better linebackers in the league. But he's been dealing with some injuries. And the fact that the team brought him onto the team and he's making some things, I think he's locked in as a depth piece. And if we need rotation, we got it. Like you see it, you got 2 guys that are down right now. Check it out, guys. You got Dorian Williams down. Bernard did with a hamstring. Matt Milano, hey, let me get my Shaq Thompson in there. You know what I'm saying? The depth has to be strong. And that's exactly what the Bills have decided to do when they brought Shaq Thompson back. I know most people were like, who? What? No, this was a great addition. I was on board saying, hey, I like this addition. He is solid. If you watch the film on the Panthers, man, this guy stands out always. Always stands out. And you know who else stands out? My guy, Thunder Bees in the building. Big shout out to my man, Thunder Bees. Thank you for joining as a member. Much love to you. For those that have not joined, go ahead and follow the lead of my guy, Thunder Bees and Thunder Breeze, excuse me, and jump in and join. Welcome to the Big Squad. Listen, I gotta give you bell action, baby. I gotta give you wrong bell. I gotta give you bell action, baby. Welcome to the squad, baby. I appreciate you, Thunder Breeze. Let's keep it rolling, man. Let's keep it rolling. Shaq Thompson, obviously, he was looking good today. He had a sack today. Love it. Rookie Jackson Hayes is starting to, get a little love, right? They're showing some love to him, and he's showing out. That tight end position, I was really high on Zach Davidson, but Jackson Hawes, look to see Jackson Hawes replace the need to have Alec Anderson coming in. I'm not saying it's just going to stop all completely, but Alec Anderson, when you saw Alec Anderson come onto the field, you knew, okay, he's got to check in with the referees. And now we're sitting here kind of figuring out, okay, so this is definitely going to be a run game. Okay, get ready for it. Jackson Hawes was the best blocking tight end out of this draft class. So the man's when he puts paws on you, you're going to feel it. And the fact that he's nimble enough to get out there and catch the footballs, this could be a very big underrated piece for us. So that battle between tight end 3, between Zach Davidson and Jackson Hawes might have the edge based on the versatility he brings to the team. Special teams, being able to block, A1, a great run blocker, solid pass blocker, and can go out and run routes. Love to see it. But I love the size of Davis. I think Davis is like 6'7" or 6'6", 6'7". Big tight end. Love size on tight end. So I'm looking forward to seeing that position group keep fighting. We'll see how it is. Let me tell you something, folks. Defensive front. Let's get to the defensive line. Have you seen the size of this defensive line? Deion Walker is a big man. TJ Sanders is not a small man. They had TJ Sanders, Deion Walker, and they had Ed Oliver working on a drill. My gosh, Ed Oliver looked like a little toddler, lifting his legs and doing some stuff. And you got Deion Walker and TJ Sanders standing next to each other, and TJ Sanders is significantly smaller than Deion Walker. Fam, this defensive line is intriguing. I'm looking forward to seeing this interior line, show up. Joey Bosa looking explosive, looking like he belongs. Greg Rousseau's been having a fantastic camp this offseason. Love seeing what I'm seeing. If Joey Bosa, we've talked about this, if he can just give us 85% of what he's normally capable of doing, and he doesn't, I think that's a win for us. If he doesn't reach his full potential, it's a win. At 85%, that's a win. Greg Rousseau's going to do what he does. Daquan Jones is going to do what he does. Landon Jackson, once he gets his feet underneath him, he's going to do what he does. I'm looking forward to this defensive front. And let me tell you, I need to show love to a specific player that I've been a big fan of the minute we drafted him. Javon Solomon. Don't freaking sleep on Javon Solomon. Do not sleep on Javon Solomon. Let him get some time. Let him get his hands in. Let him pick up the dirt and get dirty a little bit. He's going to surprise a lot of people, bro. I'm excited for the whole defensive front, but I really want to see this brother shine. Javon Solomon, I want to see him shine, and he's been looking the part. Brandon Beane was like, yo, I ain't messing around. I'm not messing around. I don't care about the offense. I know who I got on my quarterback. I know who's running the rock. I know who's blocking. And I know who my offensive coordinator is. If I believe in that, this thing going to work out. This thing is fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing all of this. So my mic is off. Can you guys hear me now? I don't know what's going on. If my mic is off, give me a thumbs up. I just saw that. Hopefully it's back on. But I'm looking forward to seeing this defensive front. This is going to be a exciting year for it. And this is why when you look at this roster in totality, thank you, Signified. When you look at this roster in totality, you first look at the defensive front. Think about it. Walk with me on this. Walk with me on this and tell me, how could you not have been excited about this? Bosa, Rousseau, Ed Oliver, TJ Sanders / Deion Walker / Dwayne Carter / AJ Epinesa, whatever you guys want to put on. Javon Solomon, depth at defensive line. Then you go to the linebacker room. A healthy Matt Milano, we know what we get with Matt Milano. A healthy Terrell Bernard, you know what you get in healthy Terrell Bernard. Dorian Williams, had he not been taken back out when Milano came back, he would have had over 140 tackles last year. He belongs in this league. Max Hairston, speed galore. Christian Benford on his way to becoming an all-pro. Taylor Rapp, 26-year-old veteran in this game and has done great this offseason. Game-changing interceptions in the game. He will knock your block off. Cole Bishop coming into his own. We're not sure yet, but I was excited about that group. And you can see how quickly things can change. Just like that. Just like that. How quickly things can change. And that's why you got to have depth. That's why Brandon Beane understands the assignment. I didn't just draft one corner. I drafted two. Through me. And now we're like, okay, you know what? I kind of like Dorian Strong. I kind of like that. Jordan Hancock? Yeah, a little bit of safety, a little bit of nickel. He can play a little bit of corner. He's like a do-it-all type of, okay, I kind of don't mind that. I'm not as stressed out. I'm bummed, but I'm not as stressed out because I see the potential that this defense can be. There's going to be a lot of scrutiny on McDermott on what he's going to do with this defense, and that's why you saw what took place in this draft. Obviously, they took the best player available on their board. Man, I was excited, but I still have some optimism on this defense and what they can bring to the table. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see. We got time. There's time. I know some people are like, yo, you're freaking out for no reason. I need you to, pump the brakes a little bit. I get it. Some people feel that way. I need you to pump the brakes a little bit, Rico. You acting a little too brand new for me. You acting like the season starts tomorrow. And you're absolutely right. The season does not start tomorrow. I'm with you. I totally get it. I mean, sometimes you're a boy, your brother can get a little excited sometimes. I understand that, but I've also seen what these injuries can do to a team. Go take a look at the injuries that happened to the Bengals. When Joe Burrow went down, it was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? When T. Higgins went down, they struggled. So there's a lot that plays into this. So some might say, hey man, you need to chill out, bro. You acting, you're doing a little too much. I understand it. I understand why you guys can feel that way, but I don't care. I do not care. We do not care. That's how I feel. That's truly how I feel, man. I'm excited, and you're not gonna take that excitement away from me. In no way, no how. No way, no how. Not gonna let you guys do it. All right, let me keep pushing here. So the boys got a day off tomorrow, so they'll be off. They'll have some time to rest. So I believe this is when we're probably going to get information off of obviously Max Hairston and find out the severity of this injury. We're about to find out. And if it's a month, thank you. Thank goodness. But I'm anticipating the worst. And then we got to move from there. We got to move to that. My man, Anthony Fernandez, he goes, yo, Christian Bedford, if not already, closing into top elite cornerback in the NFL. Unc Reek. My man called me Unc. He's getting there. He's definitely making the rounds. He's definitely showing out. That's for sure. He's definitely showing out. I'm excited to see how that all shapes out at the end of the day with him. I think he's on his way to becoming a big-time corner in this game. That brother just needs to stay healthy. He needs to stay healthy. And if he does, bro, he's easily going to be an all-pro in this game. Easily an all-pro. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling here. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at the overall and on my thoughts on this offense and our thoughts on what's taking place and how we're supposed to deal with this. Here's the deal. It's a long season. We know that already, right? We know that there are things that we need to catch up on. We know the things that we're gonna have to clean up. The whole league is in this mode right now. So it's one of those things where, hey, you guys have heard it. It's cliche. It's next man up, no matter how you want to slice it. Next man up. Your offense is somewhat still intact instead of some nagging little soft tissue injuries. So once the season starts, we'll be ready to roll and face the Ravens week 1. Max Hairston is the one that's kind of got me all messed up, but we'll get over that in time. It's just what it is. But what I was looking forward to seeing, and my guy said it right here, right? It's a shame. Maxwell Hairston, you know what I mean, could have been going up against the guys like Tyreek Hill, where these guys have fast guys. Tyreek Hill, Xavier Worthy. Now, man on man, match on match. All right, we wash. That's a wash. Do what you need to do. It's not like Tyreek did anything against us anyway. We could play cover 2, cover 3, you know what I'm saying, little quarters over top of him. Just keep that brother in front of you and you got nothing. I mean, we'll give you 40 yards receiving. Take that. And you're going to be right in front of us. We know what you want. We're not going to give it to you. So it would have been nice to see speed on speed. Xavier Worthy, speed on speed. Fastest guy in the draft last year against one of the fastest guys in the draft this year. I just hope that it's nothing. So I'm going to take some questions before I get out of here because it's going to be, I just wanted to, get into the injury chatter. And then tomorrow I'll be on with my guy, Carl Jones. We'll do this again tomorrow, and we'll get the breakdown on what his thoughts on camp has been. He was going to be with me tonight, but he was like, man, I've been away at camp all, this past week. My lady needs me. I'm going home to see my lady. She misses me. I said, hey, I get the game. Go see your woman. Go see your lady. Hang out. We'll do this again tomorrow. So I'll be on with my guy, Carl Jones tomorrow. We'll chop it up, have a good old time, and we'll go from there, man. So I'm gonna take some questions from you guys. I got to go to my super chat first. Super chats always get priority. You guys already know that. It's a respect thing. My guy Richie Fresh is your Rico, my boy. You got a permit for those guns, baby. With all these injuries, we're gonna have to suit. We're gonna have you got to suit up for these boys, man. Hope you have a blessed one. Appreciate you, bro. It's been a minute since I worked out, bro. This is 40-year-old dad. You know what I'm saying? Before I used to be cut here and there. Now I'm just The most lifting I do is lifting my son when I'm picking him up to bring him somewhere. You know what I mean? But your boy's got to get back to it. Once he gets back to it, we're gonna kill the game, man. We're gonna kill the game. Big Papa Bill, what up, man? He goes, if you guys are worried about our players getting injured right now, imagine how many players we're going to lose week 1 against Baltimore. I'm not saying we're going to lose players with Baltimore because it's week 1, but week 1 is so tricky, man. Week 1, you guys already know how I feel about week 1. I dread week 1. I just hate the mere fact of going on 1. I don't like it. I don't like going on 1. It just looks nasty. I don't like it. And then it could lead to it could lead to bad things. I remember when we played the Baltimore Ravens last year. Their backs, as early as we played them, I think it was week 4 when we played them, their backs were against the wall. They were in win now mode. Before the bye week, before week 6, you were win now mode? Absolutely. Z-Bot said it yesterday. It's like college football in the AFC. You can't afford, especially if your goal is to win the division A and obviously get the number 1 seed, you can't afford to lose these frivolous games. You can't afford to lose useless games because that just drops you down a peg and it's over with, right? If we're trying to gain the number 1 seed, we're trying to bury the AFC East and take that division, you got to handle your business. And if you don't, you find yourself in some big trouble. You do. You find yourself in the big trouble. My man Frank says, yo, why is Buffalo so injury prone? While you see Philly barely getting injuries, God bless Buffalo, man. Go Buffalo. Listen, man, it's just a freak things happen, man. Now, it does make you wonder because it feels like we deal with this stuff every freaking year, right? A prominent player or a player that you had high hopes for decides to, poo-poo the bed. And you're like, what? Like, how does this happen? Like, why? How are we so unlucky? Why and how are we so unlucky when it comes to football? It makes you question that. And then you realize you got Josh Allen. You realize that when you got Josh Allen and you have a great coaching staff and you have a great GM that's brought the right talent to the team, you just got to roll with the punches. You just got to roll with the punches. But sometimes it's your year or it's not. It just be like that. It just be like that sometimes. It just be like that. My man Cameron Hayes, what's up, Cam? Cam says, yo, Rico, when the thigh doc coming through, I need to hear my jam. All these injuries is overwhelming. Well, you missed him. You missed the thigh doc because he was on earlier tonight on the show, and yeah, we touched on our guy Tre White, obviously, and Max Hairston, and what this injury means to the Bills. And I'll tell you right now, when you lose a guy like Max Hairston, forget about Max Hairston, okay? But when you lose a component of your defense, it makes you have to completely change how you play ball. So Max Hairston, you can potentially leave him on an island if you wanted to because he's got the recovery speed, right? If you have a guy like, I don't know, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and you know that they're running a 9, yo, you can leave. You may not necessarily need safety help over top because my man has it. He's got the recovery speed to kind of get back and play, right? But when you lose that speed, you now change the way your defense has to run. I may not call that play anymore because I don't have the speed that I once had. So I've got to now roll the safety over top. Do you know how great it was for the Ravens when Ravens had Ed Reed? Sometimes you can get nasty with it, with exotic corner blitz or some exotic blitz packages, and you can kind of get away with that because you knew you had a hawk in the defensive backfield and you can get away with certain things. Maxwell Hairston, I assume, would have presented those very same mismatch or schemes that you can get into that use his speed. And now you can roll the safety over. You can send a safety blitz. You can do whatever because you know you have speed on the back end. Now, Maxwell Hairston being out, where's the recovery speed coming from? Tre White's got 2 major knee injuries. Excuse me, a knee injury and a freaking Achilles. That breakout catch-up speed is gone. It's absolutely gone. Christian Benford is not fleet of foot. He's not your typically fast guy. He's just instinctual. Taylor Rapp is not known for speed, nor is Cole Bishop. Your speed was coming from Max Hairston. So now McDermott's got to shuffle the block. Babbage has got to shuffle the deck and find, all right, now we got to stick to this base type of defense. Because we were able to kind of sprinkle in some things. Now we're going to scrap what we're going to sprinkle. That's discouraging, disheartening. But that's the game. That's the name of the game, man. You play ball and you lose. I don't know. You lose your key shooter. Now you're forced to kind of, you know what I mean, play more of a defensive type basketball game, and you're going to play in the post more. You're going to be in the paint because the shooter that you had poses no threat to anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like Ray Allen's on the squad and he gets hurt and they put me in there. Defense is going to be like, yo, shoot that. Hey, Angel Reese, shoot that. You know what I mean? So now I can play defense a little different. Same way offenses are going to attack our defense. We may not have speed on the defensive side of the ball in terms of the backfield. So guess what? I'm going to stretch this thing out. I'm going to get my speed on your guys and stretch you guys, make you guys feel shook. But when you have a corner that has instincts, that has the speed, all right, I'm going to have to play this a little different. So we'll see. My man No Bone says, yo, y'all overreacted to these camp injuries. Everyone is going to be fine. I guess my man has a crystal ball. Yeah, everybody's going to be fine, bro. You tripping. The answer's right here. My man said, yo, boo on the Reese jokes. Why? Have you seen her shoot? Boy, please, man. Boo on the Reese jokes. I listen, I will boo on Reese jokes. I will put on Caitlin Clark jokes as well. They both can get it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's please, don't be sensitive. Anyway, I say all of this to, I guess we can take a breath in knowing we've got good depth on the squad. It may not be the same in terms of what they bring to the table. We've got great depth. And I'm glad now, knowing what we know now and seeing what's happening, that we went heavy on the defense, heavy on the defensive backfield, heavy in the trenches. Because that's where you win. At the end of the day, folks, you know that. You win in the trenches. Offensive line, we know we win there always. We had to match that energy on the defensive side of the ball. It's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. It's what it comes down to at the end of the day. So appreciate y'all. My man said, yo, Unc, what you think about the 80s, 90s era red helmets coming back for one game? Womp, womp. You guys already heard me say that. Me and my man Bot, we beef. Bot's like, where's my red helmet? Let me put that sucker on. I'm like, mid. Now what I'm looking forward to is those silver jerseys coming out. I need to see what them suckers look like. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how that plays out. We'll see how that all plays out. NFL, Larry Ogunjobi, Michael Hoyt suspended for 6 games. Yeah, they're suspended. We ain't gonna see much from them. That's why you didn't really hear me mention those two guys when I was mentioning the defensive trenches. I mean, no sense in mentioning these guys now because they're out 6 weeks. Now, when they come back, we'll see how this defense will look. Maybe we'll be refreshed to have them back, or they just add a layer to this team. I'll tell you right now, Koala Bear, man, that Ravens defense was something else, wasn't it? Ed Reed, Chris McAllister, Peter Bulwer, man, that's a name I've heard in a long time. Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, bro, they had it. That team was something, bro. Tony, was it Saragusa? They got Saragusa in the middle, bro. That defense was something, bro. Golly. So, I mean, are we there yet? No. But anyway, we'll see. Last point I want to make, and I know my man Bot touched on this. He touched on it yesterday, but our guy, Josh Allen, continues to just, his star continues to shine brighter. The man's a married man now. He's cheesing all day, every day. MVP. He's got the key to the city. He's in commercials. Man's is winning. He's winning right now. He's looking great. And he does it with such just humble. He's not braggadocious. He's just cool. That's why you like guys like Josh Allen, right? And he's just a good individual, good human being. And then you top it off by giving my brother a 99 at Madden. I didn't buy Madden last year. That's the first time in forever. In forever. I was buying Madden since 96. 95 Madden, 95 or 96 John Madden. I think it was on Sega. I think we were playing. It was not Sega. It was PlayStation. I can't recall. It's been so long. It's been so long. I think I'm going to say PlayStation. Bro. Last year was the first time I didn't buy it. We back in it. We back in it now. You know what I'm saying? We buying that Madden just because. I bought it when my man was on the cover. Josh was on the cover. I had to. And I'm getting it this year again. Because that 99, I'm going to tell you right now, every time you go play, some live online against somebody else online, bro, you're going to see people trying to run with Madden. Like, every time I played Madden, I only used the Bills. I never used any other team. I didn't care. I used the Bills, no matter what. You a sucker if you're using anybody else but your Bills. I just won't do it. I always use the Bills. And now you got a quarterback's 99. And now you're going to have all these bandwagons. You all of a sudden you click the Bills and then you see the other squad flipping through. And all of a sudden they pick the Bills. You're like, yo, get out of here and pick somebody else. You ain't no Bills fan. Don't get out of here. All of a sudden everybody's Bills fans. All of a sudden, boy, please. Boy, please, man. I ain't trying to hear it. So stick to the Bills and run the table on these boys. Your boy's a 99. His throw power is probably a 99 as it's always been. His speed is probably over. He's probably got a speed of over 80. Would you give Josh a speed of over 80? I haven't played Madden in a minute. He's absolutely over 75, but I wonder if he's an 80 speed. Doesn't matter. The point is, you got an 80 speed, you got a 99 throw power. Your accuracy is going to go up. Awareness is going to go up, bro. He's going to be lighting the skies up, kid. Let's go, man. Anyway, we will see you 88. 88 speed. Nah, he ain't got no 88 speed. You tripping. No, ain't no way he's got an 88 speed. I'd say 80 tops, maybe 83 tops, but 88 speed? That's crazy. I don't know if I believe that. By the way, Debbie, you are absolutely correct. He is a humble star. He is as humble as they come in. And it's a testament to his parents. Well raised. He gets it. Sometimes I raise my kids. I'm like, yo, do you guys not get me? Do you not get me? Sometimes my daughter will ask 99 times for something, and I'll say no. And she'll come back and ask 100th time because they don't know how to read the room. Dad's not really in a good mood today. I'm just going to chill. I'm not going to ask him. She don't care. Dad can be in a bad mood. She's going to ask, can my friends all come over and hang out? What? Anyway, I digress. My man, James Mountain. What up, James? He goes, yo, he outruns linebackers to the corners, man. He's high 80s. High 80s? Yo, he's an 88 speed? Oh, that's a cheat code, bro. You giving Josh Allen 88 with a throw power of 99? His awareness is over 95. I'm sure of it. His accuracy is probably over 90. Oh, no, it's cheat code, kid. Cheat code. And he's got strength of over 75. I'm sure strength of 75 and over. He's got to be. Maybe 67. He's probably 67. I don't know if he's checking now, but check how his strength is. Does he have a strength of over 60? A strength of over 60 is amazing, by the way, in Madden. You guys let me know. You let me know. I know we're talking Madden right because I'm ready to close, but you got it. Anthony says, yo, no, Madden 26 about to be the game changer, and the weather system is bananas. Now 5-star General 17 gets 99. He been 99 for overall to us. Oh, heck yeah. No question about it. Hurdle better be 99. His hurdle's probably up there. That's for sure. His strength is 99? Nah, the real, you messing with me now, right? Nah, his strength can't be 99. That's a created player. A 65 and above strength for an offensive player is fantastic. Linemen are in the 80s and 90s. Bro, you can't tell me he's 99 strength for quarterback. Yo, you stupid. You stupid. I was like, what? That's creative player business, man. Yo, you got me there. You almost got me. My man Frank says, what did Thigh think of Maxwell Hairston? Go ahead and watch the show at the beginning of the stage, but he talked about how that Lackman test where they they pulled, and he said there was a lot more movement than he would have liked to see. And if there's a lot more movement, it's not a good sign. Not a good sign. But stranger things have happened. The guy walked off. There was no limping favorable. I mean, there was limping, obviously, but he was able to walk gingerly. And he took a step down. Normally, you don't want to take a step down, and he did. So who knows, man? And sometimes when you're young like that and your adrenaline is pumping, you don't really realize it until later. So we shall see. We shall see. And I anticipate it's a tear. I anticipate it's a tear. My man Tebow says, you're playing right now, 88 speed, strength is 80. That's great. 80 strength is amazing. 97 break tackle, great. And high 90 awareness. I knew that was going to happen, in high 80 and low 90s for accuracy across the board. High 80s and low 90s for accuracy. Oh, yeah, he's chilling. He's chilling. Bro, we buy Madden and we run on the table and we go online and we kill in the game. That's what it's going to be. And maybe it is a PCL tear. If it's a PCL tear, then it's a matter of weeks, maybe a month and a half. And I'll take that. We'll get him into October and ramp him back up. But at that point, there's so much football that has taken place. How do you throw him in there? You hate to see it. Anyway, folks, that's my time. I've been on for a $127. So go ahead and give this video a like. Give this live session a like. We're just ramping up and getting into the thick of things. And we will soon catch up again tomorrow night. I know my wife's gonna be like, "You're going live again?" Yes, I am. Get off my back, lady. We're gonna be live tomorrow with my man Carl Jones. It may be a shorter show because we're gonna focus on some true observations. I'm gonna ask him about some players and what he's seen and what he's observed. You'll love to talk to people that have boots on the ground, that are seeing these things for themselves. And not only that, Carl Jones is a former player, right? He played collegiately, so he knows what he's looking for. He knows, he sees what's going on. He knows the lingo. He knows all that good stuff. So we'll catch up with my guy, Carl Jones, again tomorrow. So that being said, folks, you guys have a fantastic evening. That is my time. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your night. And we'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Have yourself a blessed day. And until next time, it's your boy Rico's the Buffalo Fanatics. We'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace.
Yeah, I'm a fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. Play good, be humble. Number 17, the captain. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. Hey, I'm a Buffalo fanatic. Just like Rico, going live, talking to my people. Cause the team's driven like West Hurt. Other teams can't, it's a repo. The opponents gotta call up Triple O. Bills Mafia, we heating up, we too electrical. We got bean the plug, electric show. We wired up, hit up Rico, he fired up. We know where we stand on a power ranking. Other teams fans in the comments hating, we block them all, we protecting Josh. Salute to him, he the general now. Rico got legends for interviews. How the Buffalo Bills got the best fan base. Away games, red, white, blue in the crowd. Hey, I'm a Buffalo fanatic. Play good, be humble. Number 17, the captain. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. Hey, I'm a Buffalo fanatic.